Well, the Coalition's plan to ditch Australia's current 2030 climate targets has sparked fierce debate and criticism. One of those who's been highly critical of the move is Independent MP Kylea Tink, who now joins us from Sydney. Good morning to you. What did you make of Mr Dutton's announcement that this 2030 target is not achievable?
Well, for a party that professes to be better at economic management, I think what we've seen in the last few days is that Peter Dutton's Liberal Party is prepared to condemn future generations not only to a bad environment but also a bad economy. It's completely bamboozling that the Coalition would come out with this call at this point in time, given we're already on target to hit 42%. The target that's already been promised is 43%. We're 1% off it, but the opposition is saying we shouldn't be pursuing it any further. Now, to be really clear, that's bad for our economy, bad for jobs, bad for future generations, and bad for our climate. So this is just bad politics pursuing bad policy.
I guess he was saying, look, from what we can see, it's not achievable to get to 2030. We're still committed to 2050. So it wasn't necessarily a move away from the Paris climate targets in their view?
I think we should call that for what it is, which is a complete furphy. We cannot hit net zero by 2050 if we don't have interim targets along the way. As I just said, the target for 2030 at the moment is 43%. Just so everybody is really clear, the latest modelling says we're on target to hit 42%. Now, I know everybody at home can recognise that's just a 1% difference. I think the real missed opportunity here for the opposition, if they wish to hold this government to account, it should have seen them coming out pushing this government to go harder, to go faster, to invest more. Because ultimately the future for our economy is as a green energy superpower. We shouldn't be walking away from this, we should be stepping into it harder and faster so that our kids are guaranteed not only really fulfilling jobs, but also a livable future.
What's your view on the length of time it's taking for some major renewable projects to get approval, particularly in New South Wales and Queensland? And Four Corners had a really interesting report on this, looking at just how long it's taking for some really important projects to get off the ground. Do you think there's anything the federal government could be doing in this space?
Look, I think it goes without saying that we have to prioritise not only the development of these projects, but getting them connected to the grid. My understanding at the moment is that that's actually one of the biggest barriers. It's not just the construction of them, it's getting them plugged in. But I do want to make the point, we're here because we had a decade of inaction by the prior government. Now, is this government at the moment perfect? Absolutely not. And they absolutely could be going harder and faster, but they've had just 2 years in government. And I think what we are seeing is that they are willing to grab this ship and steer it in a direction that takes us away from the iceberg. At the moment, if Dutton was back in control, what he's telling us is he's going to turn us straight in and take us straight down with the rest of the world.
Kylea Tink, it's good to talk to you this morning. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks, Bridget.